Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Vancity Sports Talk. My name is Daniel Popovsky, and this is my co-host Chris Ross, and this is our Victoria Day special. At Vancity Sports Talk, we take you around the world of sports, bringing you the most interesting stories of the day.
The Phoenix Suns moved within one game of the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. The Blackhawks are on to the Stanley Cup Finals, and Inter are the new European champions, and Mike Brown is fired.
So, we start things off with the NBA's Western Conference Finals, where yesterday, in a thrilling game, the Phoenix Suns defeated the LA Lakers 118-109, with behind Amari Stoudemire's game-high 42 points and 11 rebounds. So, is this a turning point in the series, or do you think this is just like a one-game thing?
No, I really think this is a turning point in the series. The Suns, they improved their defense yesterday after they moved to the 2-3 zone yesterday.
Absolutely.
They were able to stifle them. And they didn't make their threes yesterday, which was really inevitable, the way they were shooting the three. And so I think as the series goes on, Kobe Bryant's going to get tired. You know, it is a turning point for the Suns. They're going to make this a series, 6 or 7 games for sure.
Well, I'm a fan of the Phoenix Suns, so I would like to agree with you. I really hope that the Suns can make the series, but realistically, I don't think it means very much. I think that Phil Jackson and the Lakers will come back in Game 4 and win and be able to figure out the Suns' D. I think a huge thing in the game was that the Lakers are just not making open threes, plain and simple.
But
Lamar Odom, as well, Derek Fisher made them. He was 3 for 6, but other than that, Ron Artest was horrible from threes. They were having so many open looks, and they just weren't burying them. And I think the Suns got lucky, because if the Lakers were be able to bury their shots, I think that's the way you got to beat the zone. If you're playing a 2-3 zone, which the Suns started in the second quarter, really helped them get into the better defensive rhythm. But the only way to beat that zone is to make your open looks, and the Lakers just weren't doing that.
But then you go around the other way. The Suns didn't make their open looks either, you know?
But they didn't have nearly as many.
Yeah, but if you have Charlie Frye going over 5, you got Channing Frye. Yeah, Channing Frye going over 5, Goran Dragic going over 2. The Suns went 5 for 20 from beyond the arc. I know the Lakers took 12 more 3. They took 32.
The Lakers were 9 of 32.
Yeah, so, but they didn't make their threes either. The Suns live off of 3. The Lakers are known as not a good three-point shooting team, and they can't expect to be winning with the 3. And yeah, and at the end of the game, Kobe wasn't playing like he played really well early in the game, but then slowed down as the game went on. I don't know if he's getting tired. He played 43 minutes or so in the game. I don't know.
I think he was also distributing the ball. I think he had some 13 assists yesterday.
11
assists. So again, double-digit assists. He's really getting people involved. Derek Fisher stepped up. But I think this might be a good thing to give up for the Suns, because they know that the Lakers aren't a great three-point shooting team.
Yeah.
And so if they give them the 3, and if the Lakers continue being kind of mediocre with the 3, I think that's just maybe the one thing where the Suns can win, because they get killed inside, right?
Yeah.
So if they can kind of lure...
Not yesterday.
Yeah, not yesterday, but if they can lure the Lakers to take that 3, as opposed to really like having Gasol, Bynum go inside, that's huge. And I think one thing we forgot to mention, Bynum was in huge foul trouble yesterday.
And Odom fouled out. That's what I was just about to say.
Odom fouled out, and every time Bynum came back into the game, he would take a foul and he would leave.
But why? Because Amari was attacking. I haven't seen him attack like that. Man, he was just a man possessed that game.
He was in such a crazy attack mode. He would go through everybody, just fearless, and that's how Amari needs to play.
The Chicago Blackhawks yesterday swept the San Jose Sharks with a 4-2 victory, moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in the franchise since 1992. So can anyone contend with these Blackhawks?
I really don't think so. I think pretty much the Stanley Cup playoffs are now over. We might as well send the trophy off to Chicago. I think they're gonna win hands down. I don't think anybody in the East can contend with them.
No one can contend with them. They are the best team in the NHL right now, top to bottom. They have so much depth. You know, you don't even talk about like the Taves, Kane, and Byfuglien line has been really good. But you look at their second line is what is it like Hossa, Versteeg, and Sharp. And then they've got
sometimes Sharp plays on the third line.
Yeah, arguably the best checking line in the league. Boland has come up with huge goals, and on top of he's checking the Thornton, Marlowe, Heatley line, and then he stopped the Sedins pretty much. And
yeah, he shut down the Sedins. He's been playing against pretty much the opposing team's best players, and he's doing an amazing job of it while also putting in offense. And from a third line checking, that's just bonus. You don't even expect that. And also, I think their speed, like we mentioned in our earlier segment, the Sharks were not able to contend with their speed. And Niemi, seriously,
No,
I think
Niemi,
he's like
if he's
one of the
playing
story
well.
of the playoffs.
If he's playing well, what chance does anyone have, really?
They have amazing defense as well. I think Seabrook and Keith have done an amazing job. Plus,
you add Brian Campbell,
Brian Campbell,
and Chalmerson's only like 24 or something.
Yeah, he's
like that.
young. I think it's a shame that this team might not be able to stay together next year because they have a lot of expiring contracts and they don't have that much cap room
because of Kane.
Taves, yeah,
I guess
a lot of young players with expiring contracts who are going to be wanting a lot more money. So I think it'll be unfortunate that this team will likely look very, very different next year. But I think, you know what, this is their year. So at least
Definitely
if they do have to go through a rebuilding process, I think it'd be nice to go in, having won a cup. And I'm pretty sure right now that's all but guaranteed.
No, Flyers in Montreal.
I don't think any of them can really contend, but I hope that the Montreal Canadiens make it to the Stanley Cup Finals and come back because it'll be nice to see a Canadian team in there.
It would.
And third on the docket today is the Champions League final. Went Saturday night in Europe, so noon here on the West Coast, with Inter Milan defeating Bayern Munich 2-0 in the final in Madrid. And this made Jose Mourinho only the third coach in European Champions League history to win Champions League titles with two different clubs. He had done it earlier in 2004 with Porto. And this made Diego Milito have a season with 30 goals as he netted both goals in the final, including his dazzling second goal, which pretty much sealed the deal in the second half. What do you think this means for Mourinho and basically for European soccer as a whole?
Well, I guess Mourinho said he's going to Real Madrid, so that's kind of sad for Inter, and you'd think he'd want to come back, win a championship with the team he just won it with, but I guess he wants the fame and prestige that Real Madrid offers with their perennial buying players but losing in important
Real
times.
Madrid is pretty much the biggest club in Europe when it comes to spending. Manchester United may be bigger in fame.
They're right, yeah.
But spending-wise, they're like the New York Knicks of soccer.
Well, Manchester United never win.
Yeah,
always wins.
Always wins. Yeah. So I think that he may be wanting to go to Bayern or to Real Madrid just for the fame. I think it's unfortunate if he does leave because he's had a great run. Inter won the Coppa Italia, they won the Serie A title, and now a Champions League. That is the triple crown of soccer. That is a great achievement for European soccer. I'd really like to see him stay, but I really just want to take a second to talk about Diego Milito. So he's the 30-year-old now Argentinian stud. He's going to look out for him in the World Cup this summer, folks. This guy is for real. He's incredibly talented. He basically makes the ball stick to his foot. He's like Ronaldinho with his ball control. His ball control, seriously, if you watch him, he's got the most incredible ball control. He makes defenders miss. 30 years old. What a signing for Inter Milan to get this guy. You thought that maybe with Zlatan Ibrahimovic leaving, they would have lost some of that, big power forward, like attacking, down in the middle. They got Eto'o, but he's not as big and powerful. But Diego Milito, he has stepped up. He scored 30 goals this season. What a great signing. I'm so excited for him. He was pretty much a no-name before this year. Came out making a huge name for himself, both on the European scene, and I'm really excited to see him play in the World Cup.
I've never heard of the guy before the game, so I'm not really following soccer, especially in the European. But I saw his goal. It was really impressive. He's really impressive play.
The way he turned Demichelis inside out on that goal.
He made him look like a fool.
I guess he
broke his ankle.
Pretty much broke his ankles. If we drop some little NBA beats for you there.
Yeah, got to check out that highlight. It's really nice.
Yeah, we'll post a link to our video of the highlight of that second goal by Diego Milito.
The game might have been. I didn't watch the game, but it sounded boring. So at least that play was good.
Inter really just played. Mourinho is absolutely one of the best tacticians in the game. His defensive game plan was picture perfect, executed to perfection. Inter played great defense, was able to really shut down Bayern Munich. They didn't really show much. I think the only player who really had a good game was Arjen Robben. But just the chemistry between Milito and Wesley Sneijder I thought was absolutely amazing. And Thomas Muller had a chance in the first couple minutes of the second half where he was pretty much fed a pass right in on goal with a one-time shot on the goaltender. But he was able to make the save, and ever since then, pretty much Milito took over and put the game out of reach.
I would say I like watching defense. That's my favorite thing to watch.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of offense in this game, but there was definitely some great goaltending.